What if I told you the world could end in just 3 minutes? It sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because it's not impossible. In fact, it's terrifyingly real. Imagine this. You're sitting at home, scrolling your phone, laughing, eating, and suddenly, every screen around you goes black. Your TV, your phone, your laptop, everything. Then a loud siren cuts through the air. People rush outside in confusion. Some scream, some pray. And then you look up. In the sky, you see a small point of light. At first, it looks harmless, like a star. But it grows, it glows, and then it falls, fast. And in that exact moment, you understand something that freezes your heart. This is not a movie. This is not science fiction. This is a nuclear strike. Most people have no idea who invented the first nuclear bomb. Most people don't know how much stronger modern nukes have become. But here's the truth. One modern nuclear bomb can drill into the ground almost 200 feet deep. That's like burying a 20-story building straight into the earth. And then exploding with so much power that everything within 50 kilometers is burned, crushed, or vaporized. Think about that. A single bomb, just one, could wipe out an entire city like New York, London, or Tokyo in one strike. Unbelievable? Yes, it's unbelievable, but this is the terrifying reality of modern nuclear weapons. And today, we are counting down the 7 deadliest nuclear weapons ever created. The monsters are powerful enough to destroy nations, collapse civilizations, and end humanity in minutes. So take a deep breath. Stay with me. Because once you see what these weapons can do, you will never look at the world the same way again. The countdown begins with a weapon that looks simple, but hides terrifying power inside. The USB-83 gravity bomb. It weighs 2,400 pounds, about the size of a small car. But the destruction inside it is beyond imagination. With a maximum yield of 1.2 megatons, this bomb is 80 times stronger than the one dropped on Hiroshima. Imagine standing in a city like Beijing or Mexico City. If a B-83 exploded above you, the fireball alone would swallow 4 square kilometers, turning everything into white-hot vapor. Buildings would collapse like sandcastles up to 7.5 kilometers away. Even people 13 kilometers from the blast would suffer fatal burns. In a single strike, 1.5 million people could die instantly, and millions more could be injured or poisoned by radiation. This bomb is delivered by stealth aircraft like the B-2 Spirit. It can be dropped silently, with no warning, giving the enemy almost no time to react. A bomb that falls doesn't sound scary, but when the B-83 drops, the world beneath, it ends. And if this is just number 7, what horrors are waiting at number 6? At number 6, we have a weapon that doesn't fall from a plane, doesn't hide in the ocean. It launches straight into space, crosses continents, and destroys cities in minutes. This is America's LGM-30G Minuteman III, one of the most feared land-based ICBMs ever created. Standing as tall as a 5-story building weighing more than 36,000 kilograms, the Minuteman III is built for one purpose: to erase entire cities before the enemy even knows what happened. It carries 3 nuclear warheads, each with 300-plus kilotons of explosive power. To understand that, remember, Hiroshima was only 15 kilotons. That means each Minuteman warhead is 20 times stronger, and this missile carries 3 of them. Now imagine this missile launched toward a megacity like Shanghai, home to more than 24 million people. The moment even one single warhead detonates, the world around it changes forever. First, a blinding fireball erupts, hotter than the surface of the sun, instantly vaporizing everything within 5 square kilometers. Buildings, cars, roads, people, all turned into nothing but white-hot dust. Then comes the shockwave, a brutal wall of pressure that moves faster than sound, smashing through homes and skyscrapers across 6 full kilometers. Concrete cracks, steel bends, entire structures collapse like they're made of paper. Next, the thermal radiation spreads outward like a burning storm. Anyone within 10 kilometers would feel their skin ignite instantly, Clothes would burst into flames, shadows burned into the ground, thousands would be blinded forever. And when the smoke settles, within just a few short minutes, more than 1.2 million people would lie dead, and another 2.5 million would be fighting for their lives, burned, crushed, or poisoned by fallout. One warhead, one explosion, an entire city gone. This missile doesn't just kill, it erases. It removes a city from the world map and leaves behind smoke, ashes, firestorms, and radioactive ruins. And here's the frightening part. The Minuteman III sits deep inside hidden armored silos across America's Great Plains. These silos look silent, they look harmless. But every single one can launch a nuclear strike halfway across the planet in less than 5 minutes. And once launched, nothing on Earth can stop it. Even though this missile is over 50 years old, it remains one of the fastest, deadliest, and most reliable nuclear weapons in history. It was built during the Cold War, and even today it stands ready at all times. One order, one button, one launch, a nation disappears. But as terrifying as the Minuteman III is, what waits at number 5 is even more frightening, because number 5 doesn't stand in a silo. It doesn't sit on land. It waits silently under the ocean, unseen, unheard, unstoppable. And when it rises from the deep, there is no escape. At number 5, we enter Russia's shadowy world beneath the ocean. Here swims the R-29 RMU 2.1 Laner, a submarine-launched ballistic missile, a weapon that hides in the depths, waiting for the command to rise and strike. Russia's submarines carry these missiles like sharks carrying teeth, quiet, invisible, and fatally dangerous. The Laner can carry up to 12 MIRV warheads, each capable of destroying a large city district. Imagine being in a peaceful coastal city, people walking, children playing, traffic moving. And suddenly, from hundreds of kilometers out at sea, the sky lights up with dozens of reentry warheads falling like burning stars. One Laner missile could kill over 1 million people in minutes, and because it comes from a submarine, there is almost no way to detect it before it hits. Think about that. A weapon that can hide beneath the ocean for months. A missile that splits into many bombs. A strike that gives you zero warning. And if the Laner scares you, number 4 is even worse. Because it doesn't hide in the sea, it hides in the forests. At number 4, we meet a weapon that doesn't sit still. It doesn't wait in a silo. It moves quietly, secretly, like a hunter in the dark. This is Russia's RS-24 Yars, one of the most feared mobile nuclear missiles in the world. The Yars is loaded onto massive off-road trucks that roam across forests, icy roads, mountain regions, and hidden military routes. Because it keeps moving, it becomes almost impossible for any enemy to find, track, or destroy before it launches. And once it launches, the nightmare begins. Each RS-24 Yars carries multiple nuclear warheads, each powerful enough to destroy a major city. When the missile reaches space, the warheads split apart, each one turning into a separate bomb, falling toward different targets. That means one single Yars missile can hit 5, 6, or even 7 cities at the same time. Imagine living in a country where at any second, a hidden launcher deep inside a silent forest could rise from the trees, engines roaring, and launch a missile that destroys half your nation in one strike. Your capital city, gone. Your largest port, the heart of your economy, burning. Your biggest airbase, the center of your defense, destroyed. Your financial hub, the place where your money, banks, and business live, turned to ashes. And then, 2 more cities erased in the same moment, all from one single missile. No warning, no escape. Just 6 cities disappearing in a flash of white fire and shockwaves. There is no warning, no time to react, no way to stop it. The RS-24 Yars is a ghost. You don't hear it, you don't see it. You only know it exists when your world has already been reduced to smoke, fire, and ruins. This missile strengthens Russia's nuclear power in a way that terrifies military experts. It can hide anywhere, launch anytime, travel thousands of kilometers, and deliver destruction across an entire nation. But as deadly as the Yars is, What waits at number 3 is even more terrifying, because number 3 doesn't hide in forests. It hides deep under the ocean, moving silently and capable of striking harder than almost anything else on Earth. Now let's talk about number 3. This missile is one of the deadliest weapons ever built by humans. The Trident 2D5, launched from Ohio-class and Vanguard-class submarines, is the backbone of the US and UK nuclear deterrent. It can carry 8 W-88 warheads, each with 475 kilotons of explosive power. 8 bombs, each one strong enough to erase a modern city. Imagine one Trident missile aimed at Tokyo, fireballs rising over 28 square kilometers. Buildings turned to dust up to 5.5 kilometers away. Heat waves burning humans within 8 kilometers. Casualties? Over 3 million dead, 5 million injured, and an entire nation thrown into chaos. A single submarine armed with Trident missiles holds more destructive power than all weapons used in World War II combined. And yet, even this is not the worst. Because number 2 belongs to a giant, a monster built not for deterrence, but for domination. Now we enter China's nuclear force, and at the center of it stands the DF-41, one of the most powerful and feared intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, ever built. The DF-41 is designed for one purpose: to deliver massive destruction anywhere on Earth. This missile can carry up to 10 independent nuclear warheads, each one able to break away in space, re-enter the atmosphere, and strike a different city hundreds of kilometers apart. Range? Up to 15,000 kilometers, enough to hit any continent, including the United States, Europe, India, Russia, Australia, Africa. Nowhere is out of reach. Now imagine this. A single DF-41 is launched. It rises beyond the clouds, breaks into space. Then its warheads separate. Suddenly, 10 nuclear warheads fall toward Earth. 10 different cities, 10 giant fireballs, 10 shockwaves flattening everything for miles. Millions of lives hanging on a thread. This isn't a missile you can stop easily. Its power comes from its mobility. It moves on giant 16-wheel transport trucks, hides in underground tunnels, and can relocate across mountains and forests. Finding it before launch is almost impossible. One DF-41 strike could kill millions and cripple an entire region. But the weapon waiting at number 1, that one doesn't threaten a region, it threatens countries. Some say it could even end civilizations. It is the missile the world fears the most, the one they call Satan II. Here it is, the deadliest nuclear weapon humanity has ever created. Russia's RS-28 Sarmat, known worldwide as Satan II, is a monster from another world. Weighing 208 tons with a range of 18,000 kilometers, it can strike any country on Earth from any angle. Its payload? Up to 15 nuclear warheads, or a single superweapon equal to 50 megatons, the same league as the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful bomb ever exploded. Imagine this missile aimed at New York City. The fireball alone would swallow 83 square kilometers. Thermal radiation would burn people 60 kilometers away. Instant deaths? More than 7 million in seconds. And here's the terrifying part. Sarmat uses a system called FOB-BS, meaning it can fly over the South Pole, bypassing all US missile defenses. It doesn't come from where you expect. It comes from where you can't defend. Sarmat isn't just a missile. It's the symbol of the end. So now let's talk about who actually built the first nuclear bomb. The nuclear age began with a secret US program called the Manhattan Project. This project brought together thousands of scientists, engineers, and soldiers, all working in hidden labs and desert bases. At the center of it was J. Robert Oppenheimer, the man later called the father of the atomic bomb. Under his leadership, the team built the Trinity device, the first nuclear bomb ever created. It was tested in July 1945 in the New Mexico desert, and the explosion lit the sky brighter than the sun. Soon after came the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and then Nagasaki. Those two explosions showed the world a new kind of destruction, one bomb capable of destroying an entire city in seconds. From that moment, human history changed forever. Today, 9 countries possess nuclear weapons, and experts warn that if even a small part of their stockpiles were used in a global war, More than 100 million people could die within hours. The environment would collapse, food systems would fail, and whole governments and economies could break apart. In a nuclear war, there are no winners. Only destruction, only silence, only ashes. So now you've seen the 7 deadliest nukes ever built. You've seen their power, you've imagined their impact. But here's the final question. Do you think the world will ever use these weapons again? Or will humanity finally learn from its past? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep, dramatic stories about science, war, and the future of our world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because the next video might show you how close we truly are to World War III. Stay aware, stay curious, and remember, some knowledge can save lives.